welcome to another episode of DSLR Training. Today we're going to be going to the main menu via the Q button in terms of all the settings you've got on this 700D. So let's begin. So I've switched on I've got my camera on, I've got it in picture mode, and I've got it in manual. Okay, so those are the first three settings that I've put it on. Straightforward, autofocus, image stabilization on, and let's begin. So if I click on this little button here, and then press this button here, and then press the Q button. So press that, and then press that. This menu comes up, and here you've got your shutter speed, so you can increase and decrease your shutter speed. So if you are shooting in like a really sunny day, you probably want it on a slower shutter speed, maybe something like 40th or about 30th, because obviously there's a lot more light. You got your aperture, so that's obviously the little ring, that little round circle that opens and closes. So obviously it's a really sunny day today, so I'm going to have about 5.7 to be honest, and I could talk about aperture in a little bit more detail in another video, but we're not really sort of talking about that in detail. Then I've got my ISO. So I can change that by clicking on it. So I'm going to have it 100 because again it's a really like high sunny day. And then I've got my exposure compensation. So if like you want to add further compensation to your image, you can add that by these brackets. And then if I go back to my main menu again, if I go back to my main menu, you've got flash exposure. So if you've got like a flash on top, you can add further exposure. You got your spot metering, you got your cloudy. So if you're shooting in cloudy, so today I'm shooting in a really nice sunny day, so I might just put it on either auto or a daylight. Okay, and then I've got my file size. Now, you know, people say megapixels is important, but really, to be honest, you know, it's about the sensor and about the lens, really, to be honest, if you are a photographer. So you probably know that, you know, like you know, these cameras use a CMOS sensor, but we're not really bothered about that now. We just want to show you how to change this. So if I click on that, I can change the file size. I usually shoot in medium if I'm outdoors. If I'm doing any studio work, I might click on that and change it to RAW, but I very rarely do that, to be honest, because I want to get the most out of my SD card, really, to be honest. So if I click on that, I've got one shot. If I'm taking lots of, I've got AI server, focus. Again, these are another focus points that you can play around with. I'll talk about that in another video if you want me to go through this. And then you've got your single shooting, or you've got continuous burst mode. So if you're doing sports photography and you're on location and you're doing like high speed things, you might want to change that. But again, we just want it on one single shot. And there we go. So if you go to customize settings, this tab here, so if I click on that, you've got like customized settings for your camera. So essentially what you can do is you can click on all these different things and change where and how those things work. So essentially, like, this is a bit of customized setting if you want to be a bit more bespoke to your camera. I never tend to use this. I've never changed it, to tell you the truth, but you can sort of play around with this if you want to. So if I go back to my main menu button, so I've got one shot. I've got like, you know, my my sort of kind of like color kind of balance type thing on this. So it gives me like, you know, if I'm doing sort of kind of, if I want to do black and white, if I flick through that, I got natural, faithful, monochrome. So that's basically black and white. So I can change the kind of like temperature of the picture basically. And then I've got my selection points, my focus points. Now I'll talk about this in another video, but essentially you've got your different focus points, focal points, which you can have a little play with. So yeah, you've got like manual, you've got spot AF, you've got 19 point on this particular model. So you've got all these different focus points. I tend to leave it on 19 point AF selection. The only reason why I said that is because it captures a bigger area. So because I do lots of kind of like big group photographs, I tend to put it on that because then it sort of picks up more focal points within a bigger group. So yeah, put it on that. Okay guys, thank you for watching. So if I was to recap, I've just gone through all the settings on this little screen here. Any questions, please post and I will be happy to respond to any questions you may have. Thank you for watching guys, bye bye.